Hi everyone, welcome to the Yes Investment Club. This is the fourth chapter of the Advanced Investing course, and this chapter focuses on the money control run through. So, understanding the theory is one part, but applying it is another. And this chapter gives you an entire run through of how to apply each learning into real life. So the syllabus of this chapter will be simple. We'll first look at the run through of the money control homepage, which helps us understand the stock market performance in general. And then we'll move on to the Reliance Industries page, wherein we'll see a specific company's performance. Money Control is the website that investors and traders go to look at the stock market performance and individual companies' performance. So this website entails all the data regarding the stock market and the companies, ranging from the stock price to the financial data analysis as well as expert opinions. In front of us right now is the home page of Money Control. There's a lot of content seen in front, but to analyze the market, we have to understand which all parts are important. So first, we'll look at the market action. The market action tabs includes the sector-specific indexes, which ranges from Nifty 50, BSE Sensex, Nifty Bank, Nifty IT, BSE small cap, BSE mid cap, etc. And this helps us tell how the market is performing in terms of market performance of top performing companies. So here you can see in front of the Nifty 50 there is a price, then change and percentage change. The price is actually the price of the Nifty 50 index. Then the change is since the starting of the market, how much the price has fluctuated, and the percentage change is representing the change of rupees 144.80 in terms of percentage. In front of me, you can also see the graph which shows how the market performance is throughout the day. And here it is shown that the Nifty 50, there's a price of 17,784 that is currently going on, and it has risen rupees 144 since the market opening. And you can toggle the graph from 1 day to 5 days all the way to 2 years. And the important pattern to note over here is sector specific indices are always on the growth, because the simple logic is that it is a accumulation of the top performing companies, and always there's a growth of one company that leads to the development of the stock market price and the sector specific price. And because it is an accumulation of all the top performing companies, there's a general trend being seen that the sector specific indices grow over time. Moving on to the global markets. The global market includes all the types of market apart from India, such as the US and UK. And here, Nasdaq is the US stock exchange, the FTSE is the UK stock exchange, and again the same thing. The price change and percentage change is being shown, and it is according to the timings of the Nasdaq market or the FTSE market. These prices have been updated. Then moving on to the most active section. This is an important section which tells where the demand and the supply is going. So here the company that are being demanded or being actively trading is the HDFC Bank, HDFC, Reliance, ICICI Bank, and ITC. And this is the data regarding NSE, which is the National Stock Exchange. And similarly, as the above values show, there is the price change and value. The value is in rupees crores, and it is the valuation of that stock. Now, if you move on to the BSE, you will see a slight change in the name of the companies, because BSE entails more companies, and there can be more frequently traded stocks that are preferred in the BSE rather than the NSE. So here you can see HDFC Bank is similar, but Reliance has been introduced, and then there are several other companies. So again, same thing here. Also, the price change and valuation is given. The important pattern to note is in the NSE right now, the HDFC Bank is being traded at 1,514.65, whereas in the BSE, the HDFC Bank is being traded at 1,515.10. Right, so there's a 1 rupee difference in the price of NSE and BSE. That is not significant to us as retail investors, but companies or domestic institutional investors, or companies that invest in large amount, they really look at this data, because even a decimal point change can make a huge difference in the profit because they trade in large quantities. Moving on to the top gainers. The top gainers is actually a segment of where the market tells who has the highest percentage change during the day or during the week. So this top gainers is regarding the Nifty part of it. So here you can see Grasim, which has gained a percentage change of 5% throughout the day. And in Sensex also, you'll again see there's a difference in companies because different stocks are being traded. And here ITC is the top gainer of 4% gain. The same logic can be applied as top losers, wherein the company has lost because of changes in the senior management positions or losses in the last financial year that have not been recovered, or market sentiments or market news or events. So here the Cipla is a top loser in the Nifty with a percentage loss of 2%, whereas in Sensex there's a Tech Mahindra who is the top loser with a percentage loss of 1.31. And typically these top gainers and top losers always change because it depends on the market sentiments and the market scenarios that determine these prices. So maybe today Tech Mahindra is in the loss, it can also turn into a top gainer sometime soon, right? But it depends on how the market behaves and what the investors are willing to invest. So now, as we're done with the home page, let's move on to a specific company. This, for the purpose of educational purposes, we are choosing Reliance Industries. This is not an advertisement or a recommendation to invest in this company. So as we search in the search bar, the Reliance Industries, the first thing that pops up is the stock market price. So here is the current market price of the that is being traded in the market. So you can see that the last traded price is the new market price. So the last trade happened at rupees 2615.65, and this price has is 42.80 rupees up, which means that it has grown 1.66% since the market opening. Now we'll talk about the day range. The day range shows that what is the lowest and highest point that the stock price has gone up or down during the day. So the lowest it has gone is 2560, and the highest it's gone as 2625, and as it is at 2615, it is more towards the highest price. Then there's the 52-week range. 52-week range corresponds to the minimum and maximum price of the stock over the past 1 year. 52 weeks equals to 1 year. So the lowest price it has been is 1876.70, and the highest price is 2751.35, and as it is at 2615.65, it is closer to the highest point. Then there's the volume. The volume shows the number of shares being traded at that time during the trading hours. So here you can see there's 69,92,874 stocks being traded on 1 day, right? And then on the right you can see that there is a graph that shows the market performance over the span of 1 day, and here there's a price of 2616.65 that the current market price is at. So we'll now move on to the overview. This table over here is actually very concise in terms of telling how the stock is performing in respect to the market. So first there's the open price. The open price shows that at 9:30 when the market opens, what was the price? So it is 2560, and when the market closes of the previous day, what was the previous close, which means at 3:30 p.m. Of the previous day, the market price of the Reliance Industries share was 2572.85. So you might notice there's a difference between the open price and the price previous close, and that's because the difference between the open and previous close is because there are been orders placed after the market and that have been executed from 9:15 to 9:30 when the market is at a preliminary stage wherein you can place orders but it will not get executed until 9:30, right? So by placing order, you are showing a commitment to the market that okay, you are going to invest as soon as the market opens, and seeing at the demand and supply, then the market corrects itself and opens at low price or a high price. Here it is being shown as low because there's a 12 rupees difference. That might be because of the demand and supply concept. Then there's the volume. The volume is the number of shares that are being traded, and the volume, as we have previously discussed, is 69,92,874. Then there's the VWAP. This stands for the volume weighted price. So it is the trading benchmark that is used by traders, professional traders, to understand the stock. Then there's beta. Beta is actually the numerical value that measures the fluctuation of a stock to changes in the overall market price. So here the beta value is 1.09, which shows it is pretty decent because the price has not fluctuated more. So here, because the fluctuation can be just seen that the open price was 560, and the current market price is going around 2,615. So that's not a major fluctuation in respect to Reliance Industries. So then there's the high and low. As previously discussed, this is the high and low price of the day. So the lowest and highest point of the traded price. Then there's the UC limit and the LC limit. So this is quite important to understand because the UC limit stands for the upper circuit limit. What this says is that this is the highest price that the stock can move up to during the day, and this is usually given in terms of percentage of 5, 10, 15%, and this percentage described by the SEBI looking at the company's performance and past history. So what this does is it sets a limit at the maximum price that the stock can be traded, and this is done because to avoid speculation and unfair trading, because this can lead to like the stock prices rising more exponentially. So to keep the growth in control, the UC limit is applied, and once the UC limit is being crossed, the transactions of the stock being traded are freezed because the UC limit has been triggered. And similarly for the LC limit, which stands for the lower circuit limit, this is again calculated in the percentage format, and this shows the lowest price that the stock can be traded with respect to the opening price of the stock. So this actually hedges the losses of the company because it allows the company to be traded at lowest point, but below that it cannot be traded, so the company does not occur a severe loss. Now there's the 52-week high and 52-week low. As previously discussed, this is the 1 year highest price and 1 year's lowest price. Moving on to the TTM EPS. This stands for the earning per share in the trailing 12 months, and earning per share is used to tell investors whether the company is a safe bet, and stocks with higher than 80 EPS, TTM EPS, are said to be a good stock because it has a better chance of earning per share. So here Reliance Industries is shown as 85, which is above 80. That's why it is a good stock. Then there's a TTMPE, which stands for the price to earning ratio in the trailing 12 months, and the PE, as we discussed previously, is used to signal the company's performance over the past year, and this helps investors determine the market value of a stock compared to the company's earnings. So a high PE value indicates the company is overvalued, while a low PE indicates that the company is undervalued, and a good TTM/PE ratio or the value is about 18. So here you can see that the TTM/PE ratio of Reliance Industries at 30, which is 12 points up the average TTM/PE, which shows that it is overvalued. Then there is sector PE. This is the average price to earning ratio of a sector or industry, and it is used to benchmark to compare the PE of a stock against the industry, and this needs to be compared between two of the companies. So for example, for Infosys, you'll compare it against Wipro because those both are IT companies, so Infosys and Wipro go in hand. Then there's the book value per share. The book value represents the ratio of equity available to common shareholders, and that is divided by the number of outstanding shares, or the shares that are being traded right now, that are freely traded in the market. And this figure represents, again, the same thing, that is it undervalued or overvalued. But again, this needs to be compared to certain industries. Then coming to the PB, which stands for the price to book ratio, it is a measure of the market's valuation to company relative to the book value. Book value can be simply understood as when the company stops performing all its operations and gives back it loan and the payments that it has to do. Then what is the value of the company, the actual value of the company? If the PB ratio is below 1, then it is shown that the stock is undervalued, and if the PB ratio is above 1, then it is overvalued. Here it is shown as 2.11, which shows that the company is overvalued. So from two ratios, which is the TTMPE and PB, we can see that the Reliance stock is overvalued. Then comes the face value. This is the original cost of the stock that it started trading at, it is the face value is actually the stock market price it is listed on the certificate. And then the market price, the market cap, which means stands for market capitalization or the market value. This market cap is actually the measure of what a company is worth in the open market, and it is measured by a number of outstanding shares into the current market price. So here we can see the current market price of the Reliance industry is 1,779 225 or 250. Sorry, my bad. The market cap is actually at rupees 17,69,270 crore, and this shows that the market value of the company is a lot. Then comes the dividend yield. The dividend yield is displayed as a percentage and is the amount the company pays to its shareholders for owning shares of its stock dividend. So it means that every stock that you own, this company will give you a 0.27 paise return, right? So the dividend yield works in that format. Then there's a 20-day average volume. So the 20-day average volume just says that it is the average volume by adding up all the days volumes and then averaging it out. So here it is closely about 62 lakhs 3,761. And then we have the 20-day average delivery, which shows that the volume of stocks that are not that are yet to be delivered to the actual buyer out of the traded volume. So this is represented as a percentage. So 56% of the stocks are yet to be delivered into the demat account of investors who have invested. Then below you can see the stock market graphs, and these graphs are used for fundamental and technical analysis, and Money Control has allowed used to use these tools to actually draw lines and understand the graphs better. It's again the fluctuations in price that are being represented, but in respect to the Reliance industry's performance. And here again you can toggle between 1 month, 3 months, 5 months, and etc. Below you can see the technical ratings, and then the moving averages technical indicators, and the moving averages crossovers, which indicates the sideways movement. Then there's a comparison of the price and volume, so the price performance over a period of time and the volume analysis. And then there is the news. News can be related to Reliance Industries or in general of the stock market, and how the news and events can affect the stock price. And that's a wrap to the Reliance Industries page, wherein we cover all the aspects that need to be seen to understand the company's performance. So thank you so much for listening.